But today I wanted to share with you guys all that I know about CBD hemp, what it is as a plant, some of its benefits, and just to equip you and inform you with information that you can use in your everyday life, and to share with people who may not be well versed in CBD and hemp industry. So just a quick cap, my name is Lala. I own Black Patchz Hemp Company. We are launching our website tonight, and we offer CBD hemp flower. Our other products are going to be launching every month, which is going to include beauty products as well as accessories. We have a merchandise line with clothing and apparel for Black Patchz. That's going to be on the site tonight as well. You can purchase the hemp flower from us in the eighth size, which is 3.5 grams. You can also purchase some pre-rolls. So we have some of it laid out here. You can't see it, guys, on Instagram, but there's a couple of pre-rolls just laid out. We have our t-shirts and things like that as well. So I want to just get right into it. I know you guys don't want to sit and just hear a long, boring lecture about CBD and hemp. So just a quick rundown of what you need to know, what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about CBD and its effects on your brain and your body. Will CBD make you high? Can CBD treat medical conditions? Will you fail a drug test? Is CBD legal? That's a key point to make. CBD hemp versus the CBD cannabis. There is a difference. How to find your right dosage and tolerance level. How to take CBD. So I'm just gonna jump right into exactly what CBD is. But CBD is a cannabis oil. It's a non-intoxicating compound found in cannabis and hemp. CBD oil, gummies, any other products are continue to grow in popularity as ways to manage stress, pain, and other symptoms. So we'll talk about CBD and we'll go back and start talking about hemp itself and some of the things that you can use it for. And a little history lesson about hemp and cannabis. So the effects on your body. Each of our bodies has a set of receptors. I know I talked about this in a post before, and it kind of interacts with that cannabis compound called cannabinoids. So CBD is one of many cannabinoids within hemp as well as THC. So these receptors that are found throughout your body comprise your endocannabinoid system, which is ECS. It's a complex signaling system that ensures our bodies remain homeostasis, meaning you're at the proper body temperature, your baseline. You're not over zealous, you're not having that anxiety, you're just at an even keel. Put another way, the endocannabinoid system keeps us in balance by directing kind of communication of the traffic within our body. Cannabinoids such as CBD interact with the system, mimicking natural compounds we talked about endocannabinoids produced by your body. So you already have that in your body. Anytime we have stress, anything that's triggering that is releasing all these different chemicals within our body, which can cause confusion. The cannabinoid CBD helps to correct that. So unlike THC, CBD is not intoxicating. So CBD will give you more so of a body high versus a head high or a psychedelic high that the THC does. THC kind of stimulates the CB1 receptors. When those are activated, you experience like a feeling of euphoria. Some people have anxiety and paranoia. That's why you notice some people who smoke cannabis, they may be very chill, relaxed. But then when other people smoke, they're like paranoid. They're running around because it affects everyone differently. Next, we're going to talk about medical conditions, right? So let me just start off by saying one of the reasons you can't make health claims for CBD and cannabis is because there's not enough research done on it. And there's just no trials or theories and scientific data to back up any of the claims that, a lot of people say, hey, CBD works for me for my joints, my anxiety. You just can't make the claim. But we've had millions of people say, hey, it works for me for my stress, my anxiety. It helps me go to sleep. A lot of cancer patients use it, so it has to be working, right? So we talked about the different types of things that CBD can work for you for. Is anxiety, pain is a quick relief. If you're smoking, CBD is quicker than doing any other method. It enters your bloodstream pretty quickly. You can also use it for pain in your joints. And then there's no research about the insomnia part, but again, you have to find the reason of why you're not going to sleep. Is it because you have anxiety and you're stressed out? All those things can be fixed with CBD, so that's why it helps with insomnia. So a little history about cannabis and hemp and the legalization and why they call it marijuana. So there was a whole campaign back in, I think, the 40s, where they made this campaign of how marijuana was so bad. They gave it a Mexican name just to put a negative view on it. And the whole premise behind this was because hemp and cannabis, you can use this plant for textiles, clothing. You can build houses with it, and one of the main things is you can use it for fuel. So at the time, you had Henry Ford, who just came out with the Model T, and it used gas. It didn't use hemp. So a lot of that had to do with why cannabis turned into marijuana, turned into it being not legal. That is the, I would say, conspiracy theory, but there's some truth in it. So that back in the 70s, they did have more, I know you guys remember Woodstock and all that. So in the 70s, that's when they started kind of enacting reform on marijuana laws and outlawing a lot of the legality of hemp and marijuana. So fast forward to 2018, if you're not aware of it, there is something called the Farm Bill. And what this is it gives farmers the opportunity to harvest and farm hemp. It makes it legal. So let's talk about hemp, right? It's kind of confusing when you hear the word hemp versus marijuana or cannabis. What makes these two different? They're actually the same thing. What makes hemp is that hemp is 0.3% THC and below. Anything above 0.3% THC is considered cannabis and is illegal. So that's the main differences. A lot of that's kind of confusing to me as well. But when you hear someone say hemp, automatically put in your mind, okay, doesn't have any psychoactive benefits or side effects. When you hear cannabis, you think THC immediately, you're gonna get high. So in terms of your dosage, there is no specific dosage for each person, and the reason why is because our bodies are made so differently. Your weight, your chemical makeup, everything, your receptors, we have so many nerves. It's ridiculous. So there's no research right now to even say, okay, per weight, per this. They do have a system and a table that they can kind of give you so you can kind of measure it. But the only way you'll know about dosage is if you try the product. So I know you guys heard of sativa and indica. So let's talk about that. Some people say, okay, sativa is like gives you energy. Indica is more relaxing. There's neurologists that have done some studies and they say that's bullshit. Everything is different for everybody. One thing that someone takes can make them this way, and another person takes that same blend and it's a completely different reaction. So the only way you know is if you try. And when you're talking about bud tenders, these are the individuals that work behind the counters in medical dispensaries and recreational, if you're in a state that it is legal in. They will kind of teach you about the different strains and help you choose something that's right for you. So when we talk about strains, I know you guys have heard of Kush, you've heard of pineapple haze, all these things. Those are considered cannabis because the THC is so high in there. And when you're talking about indica and sativa, you have indica, you have sativa, and then you have a hybrid. That hybrid is a mix of both the indica and sativa. And all of those are hybrids. What we are selling right now are Lifter. Lifter is also a hybrid. It can give you energy and as well help you go to sleep at night. So there's multiple ways that you can take CBD. You can put CBD under your tongue. You can smoke it with the flower. You can smoke it through vape. You can also use creams for beauty. You can, what else can you do? Use topicals, we talked about that. And also there's capsules, just like you take a multivitamin, you can take CBD capsules to help you throughout your day. You also have edibles, we can't forget that. That's your gummies, you can have teas. There's so many products on the market, it's ridiculous. One of the things that I'm truly concerned with when it comes to product quality and safety is testing. By law, you're required to test all of your products and make sure that they're of a certain potency. If you're in a state where it's not legal to have cannabis for recreational use, it has to be below that 0.3% if you're not a medical dispensary. And then the other thing is if there's any metals, any pesticides or anything like that inside of the product, that's the most important thing to remember. When you're going out and choosing products at different companies online, you have to be very careful. Every website has to have a COA, which is a certificate of analysis. And what's on there is all of those percentages of the potency to ensure that that business is in compliance with the Farm Bill, which allows us to sell hemp as long as it's under the 0.3%. Also, it has whether or not, a lot of them, some may not. It depends on the panel that company chooses to pay for that particular sample. It may have the metals test, the pesticides, and mold. So that's why it's very important when you're like purchasing CBD, cannabis, hemp from just anybody, right? Let's talk about street drugs. That is very dangerous to do that. You know, it hasn't been legal but for so long, and that's what a lot of people do. But that's just something to think about, your body. You don't know what you're putting in your body when you're not buying from a reputable company. And I've visited a lot of smoke shops. I've tried a lot of products. A lot of these products are very low potency. They're actually selling you shake. And what shake is basically what's left over after they process everything. They sweep it all up and they put it in a CBD pre-roll. That's not something you want. It doesn't have any potency. That's why if you probably, some of you may have tried it and it's just like, what is this? Our product is premium. Our potency is pretty good. We meet the Farm Bill compliance percentage of the Delta 9 below 0.3% THC. Again, we're gonna come out with products for beauty, accessories. We have our merch. We have our pre-rolls. This is what the pre-roll comes in. This is 29%, I believe. This is all Lifter. Some of our more fancy pre-rolls come with the gold tip. And that they're all the same percentage. I'm trying to stay over here so I won't fall. So here's our merch. Here is some of our eighth bags. These come in bags like this. You'll also have the percentage on here as well. They're a little more fuller than these, but this is typically the size you can get for an eighth. You can purchase that too. Our t-shirts are online. We have hoodies. We have sweatpants. And, jump online and try one out. We're going to offer, let me give you a close-up of our hemp flower. And if you can see, because this is a really good shot on Instagram. I wish everyone on Facebook can see this. But if you can see in here, you can kind of see some of the terpenes, all that you see that orange. Whenever you if you ever purchase hemp flower, if it doesn't stick to your hands, 9 times out of 10, it has no potency in it. It's usually very sticky, and that sticky stuff is what basically makes you have that body high. So, just give you guys a second so you can see. Maybe a little closer. You see that? So that's a quick recap of what I know on a high level. I'll come back and teach you guys a lot more.